Assalamualaikum and good day to everyone. My name is Muhammad Azmin bin Muhammad. Yes, my method number is 277182. Today I would like to talk about the introduction part of our group assignment. The COVID-19, or well known as the coronavirus pandemic, has significantly impacted the Malaysian economy. The GDP of a nation is predicted to decrease by 3.1% in 2020 due to the attempt to flatten the pandemic's curve through a number of movement regulatory measures, as well as the tremendous uncertainty about the future of the world, which limited economic activity growth fell to just 0.7% in the quarter 1 of 2020. A considerable output decline of around 10% is anticipated in quarter 2 of 2020, underscoring the economic difficulties brought on by the MCO that was implemented during the quarter. Malaysian manufacturing industry and the general economy have developed in astonishing manner since the country gained its independence in 1957. It began by being heavily reliant on natural resources such as rubber and tin, before diversifying into other natural resources like palm oil. While developing some manufacturing sectors deriving from its natural resources bases like the palm oil of oil processing sectors, Malaysia has also developing many manufacturing industry that are unrelated to them, particularly the electrical and electronical (E&E), automobile and steel sectors. Start at the first production line and continue through the material distribution by minimizing any time-consuming extra tasks. Digitalization assists this industry in becoming trustworthy and self-sufficient in terms of cutting manufacturing costs and reducing time-consuming activity. This is the idea behind the smart manufacturing, where it's introducing the concept of digitalizations and define established conventions in the traditional manufacturing paradigm. According to Norma 2006, a manufacturing sector in Malaysia are growing to improve their execution level. In order to grow their manufacturing businesses to the optimal level, manufacturers must be flexible, adaptive, responsive, and creative. Recognizing Malaysian manufacturing organization continuous manufacturing status is crucial. This is so that the organization may identify and focus their effort in the area that needs improvement. According to Zainal and Ayadore 2011, the best manufacturing practices will have the manufacturer improve the way its business is carried out, boost its organization capabilities, provide job possibilities, and have the manufacturing industry thrive. According to Malaysian 11th Plan, 2016 to 2020 is the most recent 5-year plan before Malaysians will be becoming a high-income country by 2020. Malaysia aims to be a mature nation in all respects, including politically, socially, spiritually, mentally, and culturally, according to the 1991 document Vision 2020. The 11th Malaysian Plan, however, goes above the government pledge to foresee growth that support the creation of a better Malaysia for all Malaysians. For the nation's economic success, the private sectors contribute significantly. According to the Government of Malaysia 2016, private investment is anticipated to increase at a rate of 4.9% annually, spending an estimated average of RM291 billion annually at the current prices. Along with the preceding two industry master plan, which established the foundation for Malaysia industry development and fast improvement, it is anticipated that industry component will become more appealing on a worldwide scale under the third industry master plan, which ran from 2006 to 2020. To become a more developed nation, the country will make a significant effort to compete in international contests during the following 5 years. As a result, the third industry plan organized and documented effective strategies and policies may help the targeted industry increase their competitiveness. As a result, the performance of the Malaysian manufacturing industry as a measure by the value of gross production increased annually by 5.7% to RM1,275.8 billion in 2017 from RM1,142 million in 2015. Value added increased 6.9% annually to RM294 billion in 2017 from RM257.1 million in 2015, compared to 2015 where there were 2,119,158 people employed. there were 2,214,883 people employed in 2017. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, my name is Aiman Akib bin Ismail. My number matric is 291847. So, now I will continue the presentation and I will talk about 2.0, which is analysis. Okay, Malaysia manufacturing sector generated about 23% of its GDP in 2018. This contribution was made by the entire nation. Electronics, automotive, food and beverage, paper goods and textile are a few of the major subsectors in Malaysia's manufacturing sector. The country's primary export are electronic components, electronic equipment, and company hardware, making the electronic sector the largest in the manufacturing industry. The next point is Malaysia manufacturing sector also made up a sizable portion of the nation export in 2018. It has a network of facilities operating all throughout Southeast Asia and is one of the biggest exporters of electronic goods and components in the world. With more than 2 million employees, the sector was one of the largest employers in the nation in 2018. In addition, the annual economy survey at 2018 showed that the manufacturing sector gross output increased annually by 5.7% to ringgit Malaysia 1,275 billion. The electrical, electronic and optical product subsector accounted for the highest value of gross output with 361.8 billion ringgit Malaysia, equal to 28.7%. In 2019, the manufacturing sector in Malaysia experienced several significant developments. Malaysia manufacturing industry contributed significantly to the growth of the economy there in 2019. Malaysia is an upper middle income country. In 2019, Malaysia's manufacturing industry contributed about 22.4% of the country's GDP. This industry is also one of the key exporters of the nation, earning a sizable sum of money from the export of manufactured goods. In August 2019, Malaysia's manufacturing sales increased by 4.7% to 73.7 billion ringgit Malaysia from 70.4 billion ringgit Malaysia reported in the previous year. The increase is non-metallic mineral product, basic metal and fabricated metal product 6.6%, petroleum, chemical, rubber and plastic product 4.1%, and electrical and electronic product 3.6% were the main driver of the year-over-year improvement in sales value in August 2019. So next is, compared to the same month in 2018, the sales value per employee increased by 3.3% to over 6,000 ringgit Malaysia. In August 2019, the average annual salary and wage for an employee was 3,677 ringgit Malaysia. This development reflects Malaysia's commitment to strengthening the manufacturing sector and driving industrial growth. In 2019, the manufacturing sector remains an important sector in the Malaysia economy by providing employment opportunities, increasing export and contributing to the country's economic growth.
Hi, Assalamualaikum and good morning to my lecturer. My name is Muhammad Amir Hakim bin Muhammad Zaki. My method number 291380. Now, I explain about the analysis current COVID-19 to the manufacturing in Malaysia. A new indicator provided by DOSM, Statistic of Manufacturing Industry Capacity in Utilization, will give user another perspective when evaluating the success of Malaysia manufacturing sector. A ratio of actual output to output produce maximum capacity using the possible arrangement of equipment, raw materials and manpower is known as capacity utilization. 12 October 2021, manufacturing is the industry most impacted by COVID-19. According to the Ministry of International Trade and Industry, MITI, according to Datuk Lim Bah Hong, Deputy International Trade and Industry Minister in Parliament on Tuesday, this was because the sector was not permitted to function during the implementation of the movement limit order MCO to limit COVID-19 transmission. Data from the Department of Statistics, DOSM, for the manufacturing sector industrial production IPI indicate a decline of 0.2% in June 2021, following an increase of 29.8% in May 2021. Next, I would like to share about the statistic manufacturing in December 2021, like statistic in manufacturing in COVID era. Based on DOSM, sale of manufacture of goods in Malaysia total Rn 143.6 billion in December 2021, up 15.5% from the same period the previous year. Petroleum, chemical, rubber and plastic product 19.6%, food, beverage and tobacco 19.0%, and electrical and electronic product 18.4% all contribute to the increase in sales value. In the meantime, the sale value increased 1.1% month over month. 225,619 people were employed overall in the manufacturing sector in December 2021, up to 0.7% from 219,195 people in the same month the previous year. In comparison to the same month of the year, salaries and wage paid total RM68121.5 million, an increase of 4.9% of or RM377.8 million. In the final quarter of 2021, the numbers of employers and salary and wage both increased by 2.0% and 4.7% respectively. I would like to tell about the statistic of manufacturing in 2020. Sale of manufacturing goods in Malaysia reached RM124.6 billion in December 2020, up 4.5% from the previous year. Food, beverage and tobacco product 7.6%, electrical and electronic product 4.2%, and transport equipment and others manufactured product 20.5%, all contribute to growth in the sale value in December 2020. In the meantime, the sale value grew 2.9% month every month. 219,119 people made up the total number of workers employed in the manufacturing industry in December 2020, down to 2.0% from 224,788 people in the same month in 2019. In comparison to the same month the year before, salaries and wage paid totaled RM770.0 million, a decrease of 0.8% or RM59.7 million. Compared to the same month in 2019, the sale value per employer increased by 6.7 to RM5644. In contrast, in December 2020, the average salary and wage of an employer was RM 3000 face 3533. Lastly, to sum up for 2020 years, the manufacturing sector sell value decreased by 2.1% to RM 1346.6 billion.
Review for 2022. Malaysia economy recovered from the economic shock caused by the epidemic in 2022. The growth rate exceeded prediction quarter after quarter. In the first quarter of 2022, there was a 5% increase in GDP compared to the previous year. The second quarter experienced 8.9% growth, while the third quarter experienced 14.2% growth. Private consumption increased by 5% in the third quarter and 15% year-on-year. Unemployment rate fell, indicating an improved labour market. Global demand for Malaysian export increased, leading to a 19% year-on-year increase in the third quarter of 2022. The value of Malaysian manufacturing sector climbed by 8.6% in December 2022. The petroleum, chemical, rubber and plastic product subsector shows strong growth. The manufacturing sector deal value increased by 11.1% in the fourth quarter of 2022 compared to the previous year. The number of employees in the manufacturing sector increased by 3.4% to 2.34 million. Higher end paycheck increased by 5.2% to a 94.5 billion. The average deal value per hand increased by 12.1% to RM 771048 in 2022. Review for 2023. Manufacturing sector sales value in January 2023 about RM 148 billion. Sales value increased by 6.5% compared to the previous month, growth of 8.8%. Double-digit growth observed in the subsector of petroleum, chemical, rubber and plastic good about 10%, and transport, equipment and other manufacturing about 14%. January 2023 sales value was the lowest since May 2022. Export-oriented industries accounted for 71% of total sales. Export grade road decreased to 6.9% in January 2023 from a 9.2% increase in December 2022. Slowdown in export of manufactured goods contributed to mild performance. Sales value of domestically focused industries increased by 5.6% in January 2023. Total employment in manufacturing industry was 2.34 million people in January 2023, up to 3.0% from January 2022. Increase in employment mainly driven by the subsectors such as petroleum, chemical, rubber, plastic good about 2.1%, electrical and electronic product about 4.3%, and food, drink and tobacco product about 4.7%. Salaries and pay in the manufacturing sector increased by 4.0% in January 2023 to reach 8.18 billion ringgit. Average monthly salaries and compensation per employee increased by 1.0% year-over-year to 3,496 ringgit. Sales value per employee increased by 3.4% from the previous year to 63,200. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For this time, I will continue my group presentation at the conclusion. For the conclusion part, has some important content regarding the benefit of Industry 4.0. Here are 4 benefits of Industry 4.0. Firstly, Industry 4.0 enable the manufacturing sector to adapt intelligent system in its operation. Secondly, Industry 4.0 technology integration could help business as the attempt to recovery from the COVID-19 epidemic. Thirdly, Industry 4.0 technologies could help with the COVID-19 disaster recovery operation in the future. Lastly, Industry 4.0 can improve the country's economy after declining due to COVID-19 epidemic. That's all for me. For the conclusion, thank you and hope it is useful.